Welcome to Med in 5. The goal of our channel is to help you understand medical concepts in a twinkle. This video is part of a series on bacterial infections. Today, we're talking about the Chlamydia genus. Let's begin with a few questions. Which Chlamydia species causes the most common bacterial sexually transmitted infection worldwide? Which one is linked to pneumonia and atherosclerosis? Which Chlamydia species is a zoonotic pathogen? Stick around for the answers. All Chlamydia species are obligate intracellular bacteria, which means they can't survive or multiply without living inside a host cell. That's because they lack the machinery to make their own ATP, so they rely on the host's energy supply. Unlike Mycoplasma, which has no cell wall, Chlamydia has a cell wall. However, it doesn't contain peptidoglycan, which is why, like Mycoplasma, it also stains poorly with Gram staining. Chlamydia species have a one-of-a-kind biphasic life cycle with two main forms. Elementary bodies are the infectious, non-replicating form. Reticulate bodies are the non-infectious, replicating form inside host cells. Let's start with C. trachomatis. This species has multiple serovars, or strains that differ based on their surface antigens. Each is linked to different diseases. Serovars A to C cause trachoma, the leading infectious cause of blindness worldwide. These strains spread through close contact and cause chronic conjunctivitis, conjunctival scarring, and eyelid distortion that lead to corneal damage. Serovars D to K cause urogenital infections like cervicitis, urethritis, and pelvic inflammatory disease, which can lead to infertility if untreated. These strains cause the most common bacterial STI, especially in young adults. They can also infect the eyes in newborns during delivery, causing inclusion conjunctivitis, and lead to neonatal pneumonia. Serovars L1 to L3 cause lymphogranuloma venereum, a more invasive STI that begins as a painless genital ulcer and progresses to tender inguinal lymphadenopathy, aka buboes, and systemic symptoms like fever, fatigue, and muscle aches. C. trachomatis avoids destruction by preventing phagolysosome fusion, allowing it to survive inside host cells. Diagnosis typically involves nucleic acid amplification tests from urine or swabs. Under the microscope, you might see cytoplasmic inclusion bodies in infected cells. Treatment is usually with Doxycycline, though Azithromycin is preferred in pregnant women and young children. Next is Chlamydia pneumoniae, sometimes still called Chlamydia pneumoniae. This species causes atypical pneumonia, particularly in young adults. Symptoms are mild and include dry cough, low-grade fever, and sore throat. This microbe stays in cells, so symptoms may linger from days to weeks and resemble other atypical pneumonias caused by Mycoplasma or Legionella. Some studies suggest it may play a role in chronic diseases like atherosclerosis, but this is still debated. The microbe's persistent intracellular state and release of heat shock proteins drive prolonged inflammation. Lab testing often includes serology or NAAT, since it doesn't grow well in culture. First-line treatment is Doxycycline, though macrolides like Azithromycin are also used, especially in children. Next, we have Chlamydia psittaci, a zoonotic infection, meaning it's spread from animals to humans. C. psittaci infection is often acquired from infected birds like parrots, pigeons, or poultry. It causes psittacosis, also called parrot fever, a rare but serious lung infection. After inhalation, the microbe causes a sudden fever, headache, and dry cough that can progress to atypical pneumonia. Severe cases can lead to systemic illness affecting the liver, spleen, or nervous system. Symptoms may include nausea, abdominal swelling, confusion, headache, or signs of meningitis. C. psittaci evades immune defenses by blocking apoptosis in infected macrophages, helping it persist in the body. Diagnosis is mainly clinical, supported by exposure history and serology. For treatment, Doxycycline is again the go-to. Now, let's review our questions. Which species causes the most common bacterial STI? Answer: C. trachomatis. Serovars D to K. Which one is associated with pneumonia, and possibly atherosclerosis. Answer: C. Pneumoniae. Which chlamydia species is a zoonotic pathogen? Answer: C. Psittaci. Were all your answers spot on? Rock star. Check out the downloadable table in the description comparing these bugs. If you found this clip helpful, like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to Med in 5 for more bite-sized medical learning. Thanks for watching.